So this one skill can absolutely make you rich. Stay tuned and I'll tell you what that is. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Graylan Stewart. I am a virtual wholesaler, entrepreneur, and just a real estate investor. So my channel is all about wholesaling real estate. If you're new, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. If you stay tuned to the end of this video, please give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you like the content so I can keep giving you more. But anyway, so today I'm going to talk about this one skill that can absolutely make you rich and change your life. So back when I was in the corporate world, I had one of the managers at the company I was at used to always say something along these lines. You know, he would say, like, you decided to do this for a living, so why not perfect your skills and try to become a better version of yourself, right? As far as that corporate job entailed, right? It's just like anything else, you know, you decide to work out or whatever because you want to lose weight, right? Whatever you want in life, you got to pursue that so that you can become better and fulfill your dreams. So the skill I'm talking about is sales, okay? So when you're in entrepreneurship of any kind, really business in general is all about sales, no matter what you do, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, money coming in, you know, is really how you measure your business. It's how you pay your bills. It's how you make a living. It's all those things, right? So sales is the most important skill I believe that you could ever have in business in general, and even in life just in general, because pretty much even in our everyday lives, we're actually selling all the time when you don't really realize it. Just like your kids, if they beg you to spend the night with a friend or whatever the case might be, I mean, they're selling you on the idea. So that's a skill even as a kid. But, you know, some people take that to the next level and just get better and better and perfect it over years. You know, so that's really cool that even as little children, we actually have, you know, sales skills that we just don't realize or ever think about it that way. But really, if you really think about it, kind of everything that we do, to be honest, is sales, personal and business life. But so here's the deal. You decided to maybe take up wholesaling real estate as a career path, or maybe it's a side hustle, whatever it is. Even if it's a side hustle, you can definitely make 40, 50 grand pretty easily without even hardly trying in a year's time. So I would definitely recommend it, even if you just do it as a side hustle. But if you decide to do this like for a full-blown career and it's your actual job and you're trying to make a business out of it, then sales skills are important, okay? Now you can read different books about sales. There's hundreds, thousands of them probably out there that are really good that can help you. But there's some that a lot of investors end up using a lot of times to try to help them out as well. But I know this one thing, you know, sales is a learned skill. Sure, we do have those basic instincts of how to sell ourselves. Like even when you interview for just a regular traditional job, you know, you're selling yourself to the employer. But so we do have natural sales abilities, I believe, built within us. But those can become, you know, exponentially better by practice is probably the biggest thing. But not only that, it's learning. Because it is a learned skill to actually get really good at it. But practice, you know, just like anything, you know, practice over and over, doing the same thing over and over will help you, you know, along the way as well. You know, just like when I was doing Yellow Page sales, which is that corporate job I was just telling you about a second ago, you know, I was always at the top of the board. You know, in our local office where I worked, we had typically around 50 sales reps. And there were usually around 600 nationwide, from what I was told back then. And, you know, people always came up to me in the local office, like, what do you do differently? Because I was always at the top. It was never number 2 or 3. Every single year I was there, I was at the top of the board, number 1 in the office by far, usually. I usually doubled, sometimes even tripled number 2 But people always came up to me like, hey, what do you do differently than we do? And really, I never really could answer that. I never understood why other people weren't successful. I truly believe that I was just kind of a natural salesperson to begin with. But main difference was, now looking back on it, one of the main differences was that I actually did it more often than they did, right? When you do something over and over, you get better at it. So I actually called on people more often than the other reps did. So if I'm making, and cold calls in this respect was actually door-to-door, face-to-face calls. So, some of the reps would maybe call one or two people over the phone at the office. I never believed in that. I wanted to go face-to-face because I was better in person. So I was actually knocking on businesses' doors, trying to get to sell them an ad. That's what we did, selling ads in the phone book, selling paper back then as well, just in a little different way. But people always ask me, what I did different. But the main thing is I called on more people. So just like I've always said, it is a numbers game. Sales is a numbers game. But yes, you can get better at it because you can perfect your skills. But just by default, even if you're not great in sales, I believe that you could still make a huge dent compared to others just by doing more, if that makes sense. So for an example, if I called on back then for Yellow Pages, okay, if I called on 30 people in a day, I typically knew that 4 or 5 of those people were going to be hot leads, and I'd probably sell 1 or 2 of them in most cases, right? So yeah, it made sense that I got way more sales than everybody else. When everyone else is calling on maybe 1 or 2 people, I was calling on probably 30 at least in a day, and these were face-to-face, actual business-to-business type of sales calls. So, and sometimes I would cold call on, face-to-face on people's doors from 8 a.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. sometimes, when I was really hungry and wanting to make a big splash. So, but that's what it is. It's a numbers game. So if you call on 1,000 people and you know that you're going to get 10 sales from those 1,000, then call on 2,000 if you want to double your revenue, right? It's the same thing. So that's really what made the difference for me back then. I probably called on 2 to 3 times more people than they did. And maybe not quite that many because I did have good sales skills as well. But, you have to perfect those skills over time, obviously. But by doing is really where you learn the most, in my opinion. But sure, getting little tricks and tips from books, from sales training. Different people have sales training out there, even specific to wholesaling. But there's a lot of books out there that could potentially help you out. So if you're interested in any of those, just drop me a comment and I will put those in the chat so that you can potentially look those up if you're interested at all. But like I said, in my opinion, sales skills by far is the best attribute you can have when you're in the business world, especially because it's all about sales. If you get more sales, right, you're going to make more money. If you have more money, you could buy more things, have more staff, buy more marketing, do all those things. Obviously, money is not everything, but money is necessary in the world that we live in, and it's necessary in business if you want to scale and grow your business over time. So that's really it, guys. I mean, I do believe fully that sales skills is important. So if you're not good in sales, I suggest you perfect those skills because you can learn it, and you do have those natural abilities that you're born with. I believe, basic skills, just like a little kid asking their parents to spend the night or asking for a toy, at the store or whatever. They get better at that over time. They learn what you want or what sounds good to you and twist the words up a little bit to make it sound more appealing to you. So you end up buying them the toy sometimes. But that's kind of my 2 cents on that. But sales skills, you need them. Even if you're not great in sales, that's okay. Get okay at them at least to where you can actually do the business, because eventually you can hire rock star salespeople. But at first, when you're just a solopreneur, you're going to have to do that sales yourself, and you're going to have to be able to train somebody else to sell, right? You can definitely hire the natural born, like cold hard killer salespeople out there. but they still have to know your product. So it's important for you to learn the ins and outs of your business and the selling part of wholesaling real estate before you can kind of pass that on to them, and then they can bring their actual sales skills to life with the knowledge that you helped them with. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. Hopefully that was beneficial to you. If you found value in that, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe. That would help me a lot. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.